Hello, good day everyone. This is Becoming a Research Enthusiast by Mom Glads, and I welcome you all to the first ever lesson vlog here in my practical research channel, the Quantitative edition. How are you doing, my dearest students? My dearest teachers as well who are watching this video, as well as other people who would want to learn from this vlog. How I hope you were able to get a good rest last night. Because as what I have said, we are going to formally begin with our first ever lesson vlog here in Practical Research 2. So before we formally begin with this first ever lesson vlog, let me remind you to please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and activate that bell button so that you will be the first person to be updated with the videos that I will be uploading soon. So, what are we waiting for? Let's start! Okay, so guys, with due respect to the curriculum guide of Practical Research 2, you will be able to realize that Lesson 1 should contain lessons about 1. The characteristics of quantitative research, the strengths and the weaknesses, and the last one will be the different kinds of quantitative research. But allow me to divide this one into several parts. Para naman I have enough time to explain to you explicitly kung ano yung mga ini-emphasize ng bawat lesson. Let me start with a very brief definition of quantitative research. So basically guys, quantitative research employs numbers and statistics in coming up with generalization from your research problem or research question. Okay? So meaning, ginagamit natin yung statistical results na yun and numbers na yun for you to be able to come up with certain results and at the same time, yung mga confirmations mo. So for you to fully understand what quantitative research is all about, let us try to differentiate it from the qualitative. Now let's begin with the approach. So when we speak of quantitative research, it employs an inductive approach in research, meaning, okay, we start with a certain theory. Out of that certain theory, you will be presenting a hypothesis, and then you will be starting observing. Then out of your observations, you will be able to give your confirmations whether tama ba yung hypothesis mo or not. Okay? Whether i-accept mo yung hypothesis mo or not. Meanwhile, when we speak of the approach of qualitative research, ito naman sa kanya is more on a deductive approach. Ibig sabihin, okay, it starts with a certain information. Out of that certain information, you will be looking for patterns. Okay? Out of that patterns, you will be coming up with a tentative hypothesis. Okay? Kapag sinabi nating tentative, ibig sabihin, hindi pa final. Okay? And then after the tentative hypothesis, you are to look for a certain theory that could back up kung ano yung mga nahanap mo na patterns from the information. Okay, the second one is the goal. Now, quantitative research is concerned with outcomes, generalizations, and causal relationships. So, kapag sinabi nating outcomes, ano yung mga naging answers? Okay? Generalizations, ano yung mga na-realize mo after doing the entire thing. And then the causal relationship is kung, say for instance, ano yung mga pwedeng significant difference or relationship of the variables in your research. Meanwhile, in qualitative research, the concern is more on the process, okay, the step-by-step procedure. the content or yung nilalaman ng mga information. And the last one is the interpretation or kung ano yung mga napagtanto mo out of what you were able to get from the information. Okay? Galing doon sa minatch mo or pinattern matching mo. Now, the third one is the setting method. Okay? Sa quantitative research, okay, we do test hypotheses. In qualitative research, we generate hypotheses. So, anong ibig sabihin? What is the difference of the two? Hypothesis testing means galing doon sa mga theories mo, okay, nakakapag-suggest yan siya ng certain hypothesis na itetest mo later on. So, at the end of the day, you will be able to know whether to accept or reject either the null or the alternative hypothesis. Meanwhile, in the qualitative, ikaw yung magge-generate or magbibigay. Okay? Ano yung mga, or out of the pattern matching that you did, ano yung mga lumabas na mga importanteng points from the information. Okay? So, ikaw mismo yung magge-generate, magbibigay ng hypothesis mo. Okay, for sampling. In quantitative research, we make use of random sampling, meaning the audience of the research are given the same opportunity or chances to be chosen para maging respondent ng research mo. Meanwhile, in the qualitative research, we make use of purposive sampling. From the word purposive, ibig sabihin, we choose our participants with a certain purpose or reason. Okay? Halimbawa, why is it na sa research ninyo, bakit kailangan mga senior citizens, yung mga magiging participants ninyo, bakit sila yung i-interviewin ninyo? Kasi most likely, sila yung possible na naka-experience ng hinahanap ninyo sa research ninyo or they are the ones na merong idea on what you are trying to get from the interview. So, ganun yun. Again, quantitative random sampling, qualitative purposive sampling. Okay? How I hope you get that one. Now, let's proceed to data collection. Data collection sa quantitative, we make use of survey questionnaires. Okay? Meaning, we make use of ratings, scales, okay? Para makuha natin yung numerical interpretation na gamitan natin ng statistics para ma-interpret. Meanwhile, in the qualitative research, we make use of one, interview, focus group discussion, and observation. Doon natin kinukuha yung mga information na pwede nating i-match or i-pattern matching, okay, for us to be able to come up with a certain interpretation. Okay? Now, let's go to data analysis. Quantitative will require us to make use of SPSS or statistics. Okay? Meaning, yun yung ginagamit natin for us to be able to come up with certain results na kailangan natin, na need natin i-interpret later on. Meanwhile, dito sa qualitative, we need words or phrases, okay, na pwede natin gamitin ngayon for iterative interpretation, meaning specific interpretation, for us to be able to make sense kung ano yung galing doon sa mga na-match natin, na pattern natin, we try to make sense out of that. Now, let us proceed with the characteristics of quantitative research. Number one is a large sample size. So, quantitative research would demand a researcher to have huge number of audience, okay, when conducting a research. Bakit? Because accordingly, the more maraming participants or respondents, the more you are going to have reliable results. Okay? The second one is the structured research method. It was mentioned earlier that when we speak of quantitative research, it will use survey questionnaires, research questionnaires, polls, for you to be able to get answers from the respondents. Okay? The third one is a highly reliable outcome. So, the fact nga that it would require huge number of audience, and the more it becomes reliable. And second is that because participants or the respondents will be facing close-ended questions. Meaning, kung ano lang yung tinanong, yun lang yung i-answer. Okay? That's what we meant by that. The fourth one is the reusable outcome. So, accordingly, outcomes of quantitative research can be used multiple times or several times. Okay? Meaning, kung ano yung naging result niya, pwede mong magamit ng several times kahit different yung research na ikakandak mo. That is what we meant by reusable outcomes. The next one is the close-ended questions. Okay? I was able to mention earlier that quantitative research would use, okay, close-ended questions, meaning isang tanong, isang sagot. Okay? Unlike sa open-ended question, okay, or questions, it's more complicated kasi one question might require you to have several answers. Okay? So, mas easier daw accordingly ang quantitative because of that. Okay? Kasi direct to the point. Madaling intindihin. Hindi katulad ng jowa mo, hindi mo maintindihan. Hindi katulad ng jowa mo, hindi mo maintindihan. Just kidding. Okay. The next one is the numerical outcomes. Okay? So, when we speak of quantitative research, okay, we are expected to have numbers or answers or results in numerical form. Okay, gaya ng percentage, gaya ng range of numbers, gaya ng mga mean, median, or mode mo. Okay? So, more on numbers siya. Unlike sa qualitative, gaya ng sinabi ko, words or phrases ang nagiging results natin dyan. The next one is the generalization of outcomes. Okay? Accordingly, sa quantitative research daw, it can be easily na ma-generalize ang buong population. Bakit? The fact that you make use of huge number of respondents in a certain population, the more daw na madali mong ma-generalize yung outcome mo. Okay? And the last one is the priority study. So, accordingly, the outcome of quantitative research can be used for a previous study of another research. Or, pwede rin magamit mo siya in the succeeding research that you will be conducting very soon. Okay? So, those are the different characteristics of quantitative research. So, yun guys. Were you able to get all of those things? Am I making sense here? Okay? Any questions, clarifications, violent reactions? Charot? Okay? So, sige, recap tayo. Okay? Of the different characteristics. Okay? Number one is the large sample size. Why? To ensure reliability. The second is the structured research method, yung questionnaires, polls, and surveys. And then the highly reliable outcomes because of the one, close-ended questions na ginagamit and the large number of audience na ginagamit sa quantitative research. The next one is the reusable outcomes. Okay? Na pwedeng i-use several times or multiple times. The next one is the close-ended questions, mas easier to understand, okay, compared sa open-ended question. And then the next one is the numerical outcome, meaning number ang always natin ini-expect, okay, na results in quantitative research. The next one is the generalization of outcomes, meaning it is easier to generalize the outcome using the results of quantitative research dahil you make use of huge numbers or number of respondents. And the last one is the prior study, meaning we can deduce conclusions. Okay? So, that's all. And before I formally end, guys, let me thank everyone who watched the introductory vlog that I uploaded the other time. Thank you so much. Ang daming views kahit papano. And thank you also for those people who was able to subscribe the channel. Thank you so much. So, do not forget, for those who wasn't able to subscribe yet, do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and click that notification button para sa next video ko, kayo ang unang maging notified that I have the new one. Okay? So once again, thank you. This is the Becoming a Research Enthusiast by Ma'am Glance in my Practical Research channel, the Quantitative Edition. So long and goodbye!